honey, give me a topic, something to talk about. And she said, well, talk about that thing you were talking about how Americans have to pay more when they go to the market. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Any idea what I should say? And she said, well, like today when I went to the market to get the cat food and the dog food. Okay, I get it. So here's the story. We go to the same place every time we go to buy cat or dog food. I'll turn this over here, I think. Get that glare out of the back. So they know us. They know my wife. They know me. They know where I'm from. They know what kind of a car we drive or bike, whatever. And so my wife goes in and she buys, I don't know, some cat litter, some dog food, some cat food. I don't really know. I don't pay any attention. I stay in the car. And she paid for it. And when the guy brought it back out, jokingly, he says, oh, that's right. You're married to an American. I should charge you more. It was a joke. He wasn't serious. But they think that, even though they don't really think that, I guess. When we are driving around, and there's people, like my wife likes to buy trees and plants. If you saw my yard, you'd understand. And if we see a plant or a tree that she really likes, and it's not somebody that we know, she'll ask me to pull ahead, she'll walk backwards, and she'll go negotiate a deal because they will charge her more because of me. I guess that's a skin tax. But to hear the thing about the skin tax being, I go to the market and they tell me something is 10 pesos more and I just pay it. Okay, well, that's called skin stupidity because the culture here is they do that to my wife. And they say, hey, I said this before, 3 tomatoes, 15 pesos. And my wife, even with $100 in her pocket, will go, no, 8. And they'll say, no, 10. And she'll say, okay, because that's the way it is here. That's what they do. That's what they learn. So you can't be upset about it. I mean, it's no different than in the United States. I mean, we bought this custom-made mahogany turtle. That thing weighs, I don't know, it's like 5 feet long and 3 feet wide, or 2.5 feet wide. And, I don't know, probably 2.5 or 3 feet tall. It's a table. Looks like a custom carved turtle. I went to the place. I said, we'd really like to get this turtle made. And I like it. This is how big I want it to be, and this is what I want. And they said, oh, okay. And it cost us, I think we paid $7,000 for it. It's really beautiful. I mean, it took 9 people to get it up the stairs. That's how much it weighs. Gave me one piece, tabletop on the top, turtle underneath. Really nice. And when they brought it here, the lady that carved it, which we know her because we bought other things there, she says, wow, what a house. I should have charged you 12,000 or maybe 15. Again, jokingly. But she probably would have if she had known her. But yeah, so yeah, I guess, it's no different. We get the same kind of crap in the US. Maybe not to the same extent here, but we still get it a little bit here and there. So, you guys that live here, you just got to deal with it. That's all. Deal with it. It's part of life. If you can't afford the way life is here, you shouldn't be here anyway. I mean, to be honest with you, you should be back in the States or Canada or Europe or wherever you're from. This is a cheap place to live. I mean, my wife bought food for us. My wife's a great cook. And so we went to the market to get the dog food and cat food today, and I don't even know she went in. I didn't see her go. And she went and she got food for us to have for lunch. And she bought a whole bunch of different things, stuff that I like, stuff that she likes, chicken and beef and vegetables. And came home, she made rice, and we had lunch. I think it probably cost her 125 pesos, $2 or $3 for us to eat a really nice lunch, healthy, fresh food, brand new. She didn't have to cook. And she does that a couple times a week just to break up the monotony of her own cooking, I don't blame her. It's like me, I don't like to do anything too many times in a row. I mean, she'll buy me macaroni and cheese that we know from a restaurant. They delivered here. They said, how many do you want today? 1, 2, 3, what? I said, oh, just one. If I eat 2 of those again, I'm going to be sick and not want to eat them for 2 weeks. And I think about the only thing that I don't really get tired of is the masseuse when she comes over. I get a 2 or 2.5 hour massage. I get the best sleep of the month. I go in there and lay down. She gives me a back rub, a leg rub, arm rub, chest rub. Oh my God, I'm out. Head rub. She massages my head. I think tomorrow's massage day actually. Can't wait. And it's nice. It's what I like. I don't want to. I wouldn't change my life. I hear them. You guys. Oh, I'm so burnt out on being in the Philippines. I got to go back to States. What do you go back there for? That place is a crap hole. It's a shithole. It really is. All the illegals, all the drugs, all the fentanyl, the hang, these guys. I don't know what they're doing. Zombies. All the. I don't know. The crime. They have no crime here. Matter of fact, sitting in the market today, here's another little weird thing. It tells you I know pretty much I know a lot of the important people. It's kind of nice. And so today I'm sitting in the market while my wife was getting the cat and dog food. And two guys walk up. Hey, what are you doing, Jerry? I'm like, hey, what are you guys doing? My brain's working. Who are these guys? And then dawned on me, they're two of the local cops, the lieutenant and the sergeant. They're my friends. It's just, I'm old. I don't remember names and faces very well. Say, hey, how you been? Hold a conversation. I said, well, I'm good. When you guys are going to come back over? I said, this time you need to bring the new captain over because I got a brand new police chief. And I said, is he your friend or is he just your boss? Oh, no, he's definitely our friend. We drink together. I said, good. Why don't you bring him over and we'll go down and sit in my bar. I got a bar downstairs. I go, we'll have a few drinks and talk a little bit and get to know each other. And, maybe you guys can come over here and do one of your, they do team building things once every month or once every 2 months. And they go to some place that's kind of funky, and they have a little team building. I said, why don't you come to my house? You can do it upstairs. You could sit 30 people upstairs and you guys could have a nice thing and, we'll kind of cater it. Really? I said, sure, why not? We can supply beer and Cokes and, whatever you guys want. Some little bit of food. Wow, that'd be really nice. I said, yeah, just let me know. And it's not sucking up. They're cops. I was a bounty hunter for a long time, so I've dealt with cops a lot. They're just nice people. They're good people to know. We had a kid hit us on my tricycle. We had some kid run into us on a motorcycle. And he slid down the road and got tore up. Not bad, but bad enough. And first thing he says to me is, please, sir, don't call the police. And I looked up and I said, I don't need to call the police. He goes, huh? I said, look right there. Literally, he stopped from sliding on the road directly in front of the police car, the truck. Yeah, it sucked. No insurance, no registration, no lights on the bike, no helmet, no shoes. Everything that could be wrong with the drug, happened. And they said, sir, can I see your license? I said, honestly, I didn't bring my license. I was only coming to town, but my wife just went to get it, which she had. They go, okay, well, when you get your license, you bring it to the police station. I said, yeah, sure, which we did. But in the meantime, the kid that was in the wreck that got all tore up, and he was bloodied on his arms and his chin and his knees. Dumb kid. I don't know what they said to him because it was in Tagalog, and I really wasn't paying much attention. They literally grabbed him by his shoulders and threw him in the police car right after the wreck. I said, guys, take it easy. He's hurting. He's a criminal. He's got no helmet, no registration. And I said, oh, whatever. I went up to the police station, and the cops were just so nice to me. Well, I knew them all. Makes a difference. And the kid comes in there, and even though he admitted that it was his fault, the cops knew. They saw the wreck. And his mom said, we don't really have the money for the medicine. Would you mind paying for it? The rich American. I said, yeah, how much? And they said, oh, it's only 600. So I gave him 1,000 pesos so they could take care of it. Then the little fart had the audacity the next day to go to the police station and say it was my fault. They literally almost put him in jail because he did that, because they saw the wreck. And it's just, it's funny how people think a rich American will do this. So I guess that's kind of part of the skin tax, We're rich, they're not. So, it's a big thing here, I guess. I mean, I'm not really sure. We don't feel it too much, and it makes a difference. As I said in my other videos, the Americans that live here, if you guys run into, where you think you want to make a little more money, get a hold of me. I have a pretty good business in the United States, and I can always use Americans to help me out that are here in the Philippines. And you can make some pretty good money. You don't need much. I mean, it's just get a hold of me. We can always talk about it. I don't know. I think my email address is here somewhere, and it's a Gmail. So if you guys are paying attention, Gmail plus whatever it says on this thing. And usually I do rants about you guys in Dumageddon. Not today. I'm not in a rant mood. I'm actually, my job, I work at night, so I don't get a whole ton of sleep. And it's getting on the end of the week right now, so this is like I think I see a great big bird in that tree. This is like the end of my week, and so come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday's like my day off because it's Sunday in the U.S. and I don't have a lot of work. Come around that day tomorrow, I get about 3 hours of sleep at night lately. It's not very much. A few days ago, I was kind of sick, but not now. I feel a little better. Anyway, don't trip on the skin tax, guys. Even if there is such a thing, which I don't agree with that thought. I think it's just culture, but it's not enough to worry about. I know some of you guys live on $1,000 a month, maybe less. I mean, I know somebody I know here, he gets $900 a month, and that's not very much to me. I don't know. I don't depend on my Social Security. I don't give a crap. My business is doing good. It's been doing good for 15 years, and it'll do good for the next 15 if I find my wife and my daughter to get to running it. Who knows? But, this is a nice country. You can have anything. You want to build a custom house? I don't know why you guys build houses that look like what you lived in the U.S. Use your brains. Use your imagination. Build something out of the ordinary. Build something cool. You ever have a dream you wanted a tree house? Build a tree house out of cement. They'll build it for you. If you could draw a picture and you get a good cement guy and a good guy knows what he's doing with hollow blocks and, the painters and all the rest of them, you can do anything. I've got a 34 yard long dragon on the roof of one of my bars. And I've got, mosaics. You guys know mosaics in the house. I got a mosaic on the table I'm looking at right in front of me. We've got reliefs and statues and sculptures all over the property because I like the artwork, because I like to walk around my property and look, I like this. It's pretty. No reason. I like it. It just makes me internally feel good. And maybe you guys feel that way about having a square box house that reminds me of the U.S. I don't want to be remembered of the U.S. But I don't watch videos. I watch older movies like I'm watching, I can't even think of what it is. But I watch old movies. I don't like watching stuff from the United States too much. I watch U.S. movies, but I don't know. It's just, I have a lot of good thoughts. I sailed around the world for a lot of years in the ocean, and I wasn't even in the U.S. when my mom died because I don't like being in the U.S. I left when I was 22 or something and stayed gone many years as I could. And now I'm here. I'll die in this country, hopefully sleeping next to my wife, and it'll be a nice way to go. And I told her I don't want a funeral. Grind me up and feed me to the dogs. It's 200 pounds of good meat. Don't let it go to waste. I doubt it that she'll do that, but I'm good with it. Hell, I love my dogs, so let's eat really good for a couple of weeks, and hey, freeze the rest, and cook the bones, let them have them. It's good for them. Won't hurt them. But you guys, I was talking the other day about you guys talking bad about your neighbors, and bad about this, and bad about that. Remember, these Philippine kids, they're really, really good on their internet and on their phones and their computers. And if you think for 1 minute that they're not watching you guys on your blogs, I bet they are. You talk bad about your next door neighbor. You don't think your next door neighbor gets an earful? I bet you they do. You know, Meritus. This one hears it. This one hears it. The one down the street hears it. The whole neighborhood hears it. So you say, "Oh, my neighbor's dog drives me crazy. I wish that damn thing would just go away." Yeah, they hear it. "Oh, my neighbors were fighting last night." Oh, they hear it. They know what you're doing. When you put it on the internet, they're going to hear it. They may not hear it today or tomorrow, but they're going to hear it. The kids are going to find it. The kids are going to, kids are curious. They want to know about us Americans. And I'm not sure that says Moran. What's up, man? Cheech. It says moron, maybe. I don't know, whatever it says. Well, howdy, how you doing? Subscribe to my channel, whether you like me or not. At least you'll give me some more, some more subscriptions. It makes me look like I'm doing something here. And, now we're playing with the internet. We're having fun. We're making, I made a couple of, one is a 7-second video, short, 7 seconds. And in 2.5 hours, it got 2,800 views in 2 hours. That was pretty funny. We just did a couple of them just to see what was going to happen. That was pretty good. I like it. Oh, it says this message is held for review. View the message. Let's see what it says. View the message. Okay, it says, where's Chong at? I don't know who Chong is. I don't know what all that means. Who knows? B.R. Burba. Burba? B-R-B-A. What does that mean? I don't know, but hey. Good. Hello. So anyway, you guys, I'm not the typical guy that gets on here and, gives you a bunch of good local, good information about the world. Although I give you some information I heard. I heard that the Ring of Fire is popping volcanoes all over the world right now. That's kind of interesting. I guess we'll see if we got volcanoes on this island. I haven't heard about them going off. And about 45 minutes from here, we go to a hot springs that is it's an active volcano that hasn't erupted in 100 years or something. But they say it's active, and the water coming out of it, they put into like 3 swimming pools. One's really, really hot. Then they have 2 other ones that they mix with cooler water so they're not as hot. We go up there and the water's been getting hotter, hotter, and hotter. We kind of stopped, as I have my own jacuzzi that gets hot with solar. I have a solar heater on it, so it gets up to like 100 and I seen 119 one day. Ooh, too hot. But usually we keep it like 106, 107, something like that. I get in it before my massage, and in the middle of the night, if I can't sleep, I'll go and jump in the jacuzzi. But all you guys out there watch my vids. If you're in the Philippines, we're on Luzon. And anybody is welcome to come see the house and see the artwork and check it out. We're always happy to have people that we don't know and meet new people. Come over and have a couple drinks with me. It's fun. And we don't have the regular house. I watch these guys. I watch some houses that are for sale in I don't know, in some beach town. We're about 45 minutes from the nearest beach. And 2 million pesos for a house. That works out to about $35,000. Brand new, on the beach. And I thought that's pretty nice. I said, I have $2 million pesos into this house. That was, I don't know, maybe 2 million. Let's see, what did we do for 2 million? I don't know, maybe the golf course and the tennis court. Maybe that was $1.5 million or something. I know we spent a lot of money on it. I know that. We're trying to figure out how much we have into the house. I don't even want to guess. It's more than I could care to think about. I've been dumping money into it for 7 years. And right now we're redoing the kitchen and the bathroom and the middle floor. And there's no reason, we just can. So we do. I have a hard time listening to you guys that, are suffering through with $2,000 a month. I couldn't do it. I don't think I could live on $2,000 a month. My wife said, I was talking, I said, what's going to happen when I die? And she says, well, we'll make do. We won't use the air conditioning as much because we have 3 air conditioners on 24/7. And she goes, but we'll make it. We'll figure out some way because, my daughter's working. She's a pharmacist and she's got a solid income, but it won't be like it is now. I gotta say, it'll be better. And, right now we have a very happy, simple, and good life, I have to admit. And I wish everybody had the same kind of life that we have. When we want to buy something, we go buy it. You don't have to stress over, $20 or whatever. We want to go to dinner, we go to dinner. We want to buy a new motorcycle, we just go buy a new motorcycle. So, but you guys, the skin tax thing and, the taxi's charging you too much or whatever, think of the good stuff that you get out of here. Think of the kick, the relaxation, listening to like right now, I can hear the kids next door playing. Don't hear that in the U.S. There is not a place in the United States right now where I could sit out on my deck and hear neighbors' kids playing in their backyard or their front yard. Not going to happen. Everybody's so afraid that their kids are going to get, picked up, hijacked, and stolen, and never see them again. Here, it's not like that. Especially, like I said, I live in a province. I don't live in Manila or Baguio City or some big, Pampanga. I don't want to live around Americans. I don't want all that city crap. I'll go to the city, I'll drive there. I'll see it. I'll go to the mall, I'll come home when I'm done. Come back to my home where it's quiet and peaceful and nice. So today's kind of just simple thoughts and rants and raves, I guess. I'm not ranting like usual, talking down about everybody that I listen to. I know you guys are kind of probably going to be bored with this one, but it's not all bad. The guys here that live here that don't understand the Philippines, it's too bad. It really is. They came here to live in the Philippines, but yet, from what I see, most of them don't have a clue. They try. But you can't understand the Philippine culture in the Philippines if you live around the Americans and the foreigners. The culture isn't there. Even in the city where you go, I listen, oh yeah, we went and sat in the bar and had a couple of drinks the other night. There ain't a bar in this town. There's a place you can drink beer. I don't think anybody in this town knows what a mixed drink is. You couldn't get like a margarita here if you wanted to, except at my own bar. Make some killer ass margaritas. Long Island iced teas are my specialty. But, I don't see how, going into a restaurant or a bar 10 minutes or 15 minutes from your house shows you what the culture in the Philippines are when that's not the culture. That's the culture of the big city. The big cities, yeah, there's a lot of people there, but that's not the culture of the Philippines. The culture's here. And, I hear about, banking issues and, I don't know, I don't have banking issues, at least not yet. Maybe I will in the future. I don't know. If I do, I'll figure out something else. There's always a way. If you're smart. My wife's got PayPal in her account here. If I need to run money into her account, I'll just have people pay PayPal in the U.S. and send it to the account here. People don't care. My service that we do in the U.S., they don't care where the money goes. They send it to here or wherever. As long as they get the service that they want, they're willing to pay whatever. And that's part of living here. Part of you have to be kind of resourceful to live in any foreign country. When I was in Mexico, I had a sailboat. I used to do charters. Well, I got caught, and it ended up costing me, I don't know, $100 a trip to the port captain to keep him off my back. So what? I don't care. I made $100 a day less. I still made $1,000 a day on an average. So what was $100? Didn't hurt me. I don't care. And that's what it is. You roll with the punches wherever you are, and you learn to do that. And the more that you learn, the better your lifestyle and the better your life is here. And you want to come to the Philippines, guys. I tell people I came here with 2 suitcases and never left. And that's the truth. I did. I came here with 2 suitcases. Now, I knew where I was going. I had already built a little house, a 1,200 square foot house, no money, like $2,000 or $3,000 to build it. And I had already knew my wife. I met her the trip before, and I knew I was going to come here to get married. But that was my plan. So I was ready to do that. If you're going to come here and you're going to be single, the old guy crowd that I see, it's all about going out looking for the young girls and partying it up and being a 17-year-old, high school kid and playing, oh, I can do this. Dude, it gets old really quick. You'll end up getting burned and hurt, and it's just stupid. You can fall in love with a girl that's 20 years old, and she'll pretend for a while, but do you honestly think that young girl wants anything to do with that old man? Nope. Don't believe it. Now you guys are all worried about your house is going to the girls. Hey, you know what? You can't own it anyway. It goes to her no matter what. And you're going to die sooner or later. Who cares if she gets it or not? Do you really give a crap? You can't give it to your relatives. It's going to go to her relatives or her. Stop stressing over shit like that. That's just dumb. I don't care. I built this house. Me and my wife decided what we wanted was a castle. We built a castle. And we just keep building it. And every day we build something new. We do something else. And we like our home a little more every day. From the 10 dogs and the 6 cats and the 3 snakes and all the rest of the animals. We got hamsters, and hamsters are the snake food. We got chickens. We had goats, but I don't like goats. They don't last very long. Goats are hard to raise in the Philippines. But, it's a nice, simple life, guys. So you want to come to the Philippines, don't go and plan on living in a big city, because you might as well stay home. There's crime and idiots there, just like in the U.S. Go out in these little small provinces. It's like, I tell people I live in Leave It to Beaverland. Just like back in the 50s, everybody here, the new cars are the only thing that makes us not the 50s, and the technology. But the people still think like in the 50s. They had a funeral 2 days ago of a guy that died around the corner. They had him in the viewing box for a month. I don't know what that was all about. Usually it's like 8 or 10 days, but they had people coming over for a month. We think maybe they had somebody out of the country they were waiting to get here before they buried him. It's the culture. That's what it's all about. Well, I'm kind of done. I wasn't going to make a video today, and I thought, I try and make one every day so you guys have something to talk about me about. Have a good one. Hey, subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up, and I'm supposed to stay all this stuff, let's see, share it. Oh yeah, that's the other one. It'll make my channel get bigger, and maybe more people get to watch my craziness. In the meantime, I will talk to you again tomorrow. Have a good night. Adios.